Three, two, one. All right, guys, it's time for another podcast. We are back.
Yes, sir. We are back here again, people,
Yes.
and we are ready to rock and roll.
Yes, we're back at you with another kick-ass podcast, and this is going to be part two of talking about wrestling figures.
Yeah, the 80s wrestling
Yeah.
figures. We're taking a trip back to the 80s.
Yes, 80s on up. We started talking about the LJN wrestling figures.
Yeah, the big rubber wrestlers that are just stuck in one pose.
Right. That started in 1984. We talked about the first three series. And this time around, we're going to be talking about Series 4, which is pretty big. It's got 17, figures here.
Wow.
And they all look pretty cool. Also,
Yeah.
we're going to be, answering some questions, wrestling questions from Daniel Santana as well.
Cool.
And we're going to have a cool time here. It's going to be many parts to this one. And then after we're done with, the LJN wrestling figures, we'll move on to the Hasbro figures.
Oh, hell yeah.
They got a lot as well. So there's going to be many parts.
Yeah.
Probably take up the whole fucking 2025 year in podcasts, but that's quite all right because this is pretty cool. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
We're doing this in parts instead of like one big podcast, which would have been hours, if we were to cover all this. But yeah, let me go over something here, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, we'll see in this series how many wrestlers figures that I had. I know I had a lot of the other three series that they had.
Right.
Kind of interested to see who's in Series 4.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, let's get this bitch started.
Hell yeah.
All right. So Series 4 here, WWF Superstars 1987 Series 4. Now it says it's got a little thing here that says the fourth wave of WWF Superstar figures featured 17 brand new figures in total. Let's see, with all being new releases of characters never seen before. Once again, LJN continued mixing in popular managers with their lineup of wrestlers, including a figure of WWF owner Vince McMahon himself.
Oh wow, I didn't know they made a figure of Vince McMahon.
Yep, I think that's for the first time for Series 4. Also,
I can honestly say I didn't have his figure then.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made a Vince McMahon LJN figure.
Right on. Also, it should be noted that the estimated values, which I'll be going over like I did the others, are only for the basic figures and are not for the harder to find variants, which I figured as much. The variants are obviously, for the most part, are going to be worth more than the normal figures, so it's all good. So with that being said, let's go over some figures here.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So first up here we got Adrian Adonis here.
Oh, for him, the adorable one.
Yes. It's good. It's a cool looking figure. Did you have that figure? Or?
I never had Adrian Adonis's figure.
Okay.
But I remember him as a wrestler, and he was a totally different wrestler for the time. He didn't have the physique and everything like the other wrestlers had. He was more of like a chubby,
right,
doughboy type, but he could wrestle. Like, he was a bad dude. I mean, even though they stuck him with a kind of a crazy gimmick, like he went with it.
Yeah, it worked. He made it work.
Yeah, he had some amazing feuds with like Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper, and or wound up getting his head shaved at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, old school, man.
He passed away later that year.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, because he could have had, because what it sounded like before he passed, that they were gonna, re-gimmick him, and he was gonna, take some time off, drop some weight, and, get back into being a badass again.
Right. Yeah, it would have been cool to, if he would have lived, he could have continued on in the wrestling world and
Yeah.
done some cool stuff.
But yeah, I never got to get his figure though.
Right. So, okay, so it says market value for his figure, carded, which means, sealed,
Yeah,
brand new, goes for anywhere from $150 to $225 from this, which is not bad. And then loose, it's going for $30 to $45.
Yeah.
Which is not bad at all. And then
bad thing though, if you find these figures like loose, the fact they're like 40 years old now,
right.
like you'd think they would be like fucking like all beat to hell.
And, right. Yeah, I would assume a lot of them would be.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to find one, like that's open, that's still in like really good shape that somebody took care of.
True. And it says accessories, there was none, and there were no known variants of his figure. Right on. So, always go for pretty good money.
Yeah. But so damn, starting right off the bat, a figure two figures you announced that I did not have, Vince McMahon or Adrian Adonis.
Right. Right. We'll get to him. He's last on this list.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2 so far you didn't have. Okay, so let's get into the next one here. The next one is Billy Jack Haynes.
Oh, Billy Jack Haynes.
Good old Billy Jack. Yeah, I like the figure. I like his shoot interviews, man. He was pretty out there, man.
Oh yeah.
He's a wild one.
And honestly, what sucks is I don't know. Like I think I may have had his figure at one point.
Yeah.
But I don't exactly remember. Really remember.
Right. He had the white shoes.
Yeah, yellow. Like remember, he had like yellow and green tights, and
yep. Yeah, he had his hat.
He had that. He had that rivalry with Hercules over who had the best full Nelson.
Right. He's a legit tough dude too, by the way, back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't one I think you'd want to end up in a street fight with or anything like that.
He'd go crazy on your ass.
For sure. But here, let's see, the market value for his carded, sealed figure is priced at anywhere between $400 and $550, which is not too bad. That's a good value.
Dang.
Loose, he's worth anywhere from $60 to $90.
Dang, man.
And accessories, he comes with a hat.
Yeah.
And there were no known variants of his figure.
Yeah. It's always funny when they had hat accessories. Remember Hillbilly Jim's figure had a hat, and I'd always when I was playing with wrestlers, I'd stick his hat on somebody else and be like, Hillbilly Jim, I got your hat.
Yeah. But yeah, that's if you can find that figure, I'd definitely get it, especially if you can find it sealed, that's good money.
Yeah.
And as we go on, when we eventually get to Series 6, that's where they're really worth some fucking money. Which
that's fucking
thousands of dollars. Yeah, we will get into that in a future episode.
You better be a rich motherfucker to fucking get those money for those figures.
Yeah, because they're worth a pretty penny. Okay, so moving on. We are next up is
who we got, bro? Who we got?
We got B. Brian Blair.
Okay.
Here.
One half the Killer Bees.
Yes, sir. And he's got the yellow shoes here, the yellow and black tights here.
Yeah. I never understood the team of the Killer Bees. It started off not wearing masks, but then at some point they'd go under the ring and they'd put masks on. And they gave them they came in fucking ready to damn rock and roll.
Right.
Like, I never understood that whole deal.
Yeah, I don't know, but
we put the masks on, it gives us powers.
you got to figure. And what I like, what it says at the bottom there that you can't make out too much, but it says, you get a free, poster inside. It says of, that character.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. It looks like it comes with every figure as well. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, the market value of Brian Blair carded, sealed, is worth anywhere from $300 to $400.
Damn.
That's pretty good. And loose, he is worth $40 to $60.
That's cool.
And accessories, there's no accessories, but there is a variant. He says here, skin tone is either tan or pale. Which I did not know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'll say this, what sucks, dude, that's another figure. Damn it, so far I didn't have any of this series so far.
Any of this series figures, I said, yeah, but you probably will have this next one, which we're about to go into.
Okay.
Which is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
From, Series 4 here, and wow, he's worth some money.
Okay.
Did you have this?
Yes, I had Bret Hart's figure.
Oh man, you should have kept it sealed.
I know. Well, I bought it like I bought a couple figures at a flea market deal and they had them for like a couple bucks a figure, and I bought a couple of them. They had like Brutus Beefcake, Davey Boy Smith, Bret Hart, and I think was Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yeah, yep. He's next on the list that I'm about to go over.
Yeah, and I had like those figures for a while, but I think I turned around at some point in time and resold them at one point.
Yeah.
Or I gave them away to somebody or something like that.
Yeah, well, check this out. His carded value.
You're gonna make me sick.
Market value is going sealed. He is going for anywhere from $1,200 to $1,700.
Excuse me here. I gotta go vomit.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, wait till we get the Series 6, man. You're gonna trip out.
What was his loose figure?
Oh yeah, his loose figure is going anywhere from $100 to $140.
Damn, man.
There's no accessories, but there is variants here. We got two colors of tights, pink or purple.
Yeah. Well, because back in the 80s, they did that from time to time. They switched off from coming out in pink and black to where they had like purple and black.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worth some money, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a cool looking figure.
Yeah.
Now let's see. And also, I want to let people know, as well, I'm sure they'll know, obviously if they're watching the podcast, I'll be showing pictures of the figures that I'm talking about we're talking about them, so that you guys can see exactly what we're talking about here.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you'll see the figures because I'm saving the pictures and putting them in with the podcast. But anyways, next up is Cowboy Bob Orton here.
Yeah. Like I said, he was one of those figures I picked up years ago.
Yep, he's, let's see, market value, carded brand new. He is worth anywhere from $200 to $300.
Damn.
Loose, he is worth anywhere from $35 to $55.
Dang, man.
It's not bad. I mean, all of these is worth money.
I probably sold those figures probably in the late 90s for like $5 or something like that.
Just imagine if we kept all of them, man. We could have had some
Oh,
money.
I know. That's the one thing if I could ever go back and get some from my childhood, it would be all my fucking wrestling figures.
If I could go back in time, I would definitely go after the Series 6 figures and get as many as I could, because those are worth thousands. Some of those figures, which I don't know how, but they are definitely worth money.
Go back in time, buy like a whole box of them, like
Oh yeah.
new, and then bring them back to the future and be like, you just start slinging them like $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000.
And it says here accessories for Cowboy Bob Orton. He has a hat. He comes with a hat.
Yeah.
And there was no variations, so no variants for Bob Orton there, but he does have a hat.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Remember,
cool.
He was always like the enforcer for Roddy Piper way back in the day.
Was he?
Yeah, he was always like Mr. T and Roddy Piper had a boxing match at WrestleMania 2. Well, prior to WrestleMania 2, at a Saturday night's main event, Mr. T boxed Cowboy Bob Orton.
Oh, kick ass.
And the fucking it was funny to see boxing in a wrestling event.
Oh, isn't that what Mr. T did with Roddy Piper?
Yeah, they boxed.
Yeah, they boxed it out.
Like, I mean, how is it that you're gonna fucking be, you're bringing boxing into a wrestling event?
That's how it goes. Sometimes, I guess, but
it's like putting Braun Strowman in an arm wrestling deal. He got took to school by that one arm wrestler.
Oh yeah. So next up here, let's see, we got Miss Elizabeth.
Okay, another character I did not have.
Yes. Let's see. Her market value, carded, sealed, goes for anywhere from $225 to $325.
That's not bad.
And loose, she's going anywhere from $50 to $75.
Yeah.
Accessories, she has a skirt, and there are a couple variants here. She says 2 skirt colors. We got gold or purple.
That's cool.
But it says, but purple version is rare.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She sure was pretty back in the day.
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah, she was awesome.
I mean, you always like, she was like the one woman that you never wanted to see like ever get hurt. Like you were just like, man, she's so pretty, and she wasn't like like a lot of the other girls in wrestling, being the tough, she was just more of like a valet for the Macho Man. But you always were thinking like, man, what is a girl like her doing with a guy like that?
I don't know, but it's got to be loved, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up on the list here is Hercules.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Finally a figure that I had.
Yeah. So you had Hercules?
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, he's big. I like his got a cool little brown outfit here.
Hell yeah, he was a bad. He was one big bad dude back in the day that you thought that he would at some point in his career would be a main fucking force, and he just never was.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out for him.
He had some battles with a lot of wrestlers like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and all that, but he just he had the look, he had the muscle, he had the size, he had the power. It's just, I don't know, he just never could get that push to be a dominant force.
Yeah. Now it says here his market value, carded, brand new, is going anywhere from $150 to $225.
Uh-huh.
Not bad. And Loose, he's going anywhere from $35 to $55. And let's see, as far as accessories go, there is none, and there's no variants of him. So, just a figure.
Yeah, it's a figure.
It's all good. We got next up here, we got a good one here. Next on the list is Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you,
I did not have his LJN figure, but I remember having his Hasbro figure.
Okay. Well, you're going to wish you did have his figure, or at least
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fucking money.
Saved it, because his carded value is going anywhere from $750 to $1,000, brand new.
Damn.
Not bad.
I'll take 2 of those.
Yeah, no shit. You get 10 or 15 of those, you can get a fucking,
Nice
new
car.
Yeah, nice new car almost, Fuck. Let's see, Loose, he's going anywhere from $100 to $140. Accessories, he has the snake, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
he had the snake too on his Hasbro figure.
That's cool.
You got to have him with the snake, man. I noticed that they have him with the snake, but they never had him how he really comes out with the snake. Like they should have had like the snake, and you should be able to like put it like in a like a little bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Like how they always had him sitting in.
Right. And it says here, as far as other versions, there were no known, variants of his figure.
Damn.
So it's all good. Next up here, we got on the list is Jumping Jim.
Jumping Jim Brunzel.
Yes, sir.
The other half of the Killer Bees.
Yes, sir. And his market value is not really going for that high, but it's carded as $175 to $250. And let's see, Loose, he's going anywhere from $35 to $55. Now let's see. He had no accessories, but like his partner, he does have a variant where his skin tone is either tan or pale. Just like B. Brian Blair. That's funny. So that's cool.
Damn right.
It's cool they got those figures, man. This next one, I like how they have this next one I'm about to go talk about here.
Alright.
Next up on the list is Jim Neidhart.
Okay.
Did you have that figure?
I did not.
Okay, market value, carded. He's going for anywhere, let's see, $750 to $950, brand new.
Damn.
That's pretty good. Loose, he's going for anywhere from $70 to $100. Accessories, he had no accessories, but just like
Right,
Bret Hart, yeah, he had the variant like Bret Hart where you have the two colors, either the tights, either pink or purple.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
What's funny about the Hart Foundation, remember them in WrestleMania 2? They fought that Battle Royal with Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Down to the two of them and Andre, and Andre took them both and just, like, he threw the anvil out, Jim Neidhart out, and he grabbed Bret in the top rope and just sent him flying to the floor like, bye-bye, Bret.
Yeah. You're out of here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that was the time that you saw, like, Bret Hart ever go up against Andre the Giant.
I think, let's see, Bret Hart had a one-on-one match with Andre the Giant just one time. They wrestled, I believe.
Damn,
like to see that match.
Yeah. After that, I think that was it. And like you said, he got thrown over the ropes. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, they didn't
Wrestle.
really wrestle each other.
That's one of the coolest battle royals they ever had. They had like a bunch of wrestlers and they had a bunch of the like main football players taking place in it.
Yeah.
A lot of cool wrestlers were in there. Like a lot of the ones that had figures, like we're talking about, like Hillbilly Jim was in there, Iron Sheik was in there, and this ever it came down to Andre and the Hart Foundation, and he schooled them both.
You got that right. Okay, so let's see. Next on the list is Kamala.
Who?
Kamala.
Oh, Kamala. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know. I don't know why, but I did not have any of these figures.
So you pretty a lot of these Series 4 figures you did not have from '87.
No, I didn't. Like, I mean, it's weird. Like, I had a lot of the earlier series, but
Not
this
this
series that we're
way.
talking about, for some reason, I did not have any of these.
Yeah. Now let's see here. Market value. Cardi knew he is worth anywhere from $400 to $550.
Yeah.
Loose, he's going for anywhere from $60 to $90, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Accessories, there was none, and there was no variations, no variants of Kamala.
Who? He was a legend, though, too,
He's
man.
awesome. He seemed like a really nice person too in real life.
Yeah. He
You
was
know.
always funny in his matches, though. He would get his opponent down on their stomach, and he would splash them on their back, and he would try to pin them with them face down. And the referee people had to tell him, like, no, you got to turn him over. You got to turn him over.
Yeah, turn him the fuck over, man.
You can't pin him that way, Kamala.
Yes, indeed. So next up here on the list is oh, it's got a cool outfit too. Ken Patera.
Oh, Ken Patera. I remember
Yeah,
him.
yes, he's a good sized guy, man. Right on.
Yeah.
He's all in like purple.
He did a deal years ago where he got his ass whooped by Bobby Heenan's whole, like, Heenan family, and they all, like, took turns with, like, this belt and just whipping the living shit out of him.
Really?
Yeah, and they fucking, like, they show him backstage afterwards, like, they're showing Ken Patera's back, and it's just full of fucking welts.
Damn.
And I was just like, yeah, you had, like, Bobby, there was, like, King Kong Bundy, Hercules, uh, Harley Race, I think who else was out there helping them? I think maybe even Paul Orndorff was a member of, but they were all just out there, like, just took, like, holding them down, taking turns with a belt, just fucking whipping the shit out of them.
Damn.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible, man. Like, because what it was, Ken Patera was, he was, like, a part of the Heenan family, but then he got sick of Bobby Heenan and fucking, like, left to venture out on his own, and Bobby Heenan, of course, like, I'm going to make you suffer now.
Right. He's a good size to him. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
he's a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
He got arrested years ago for throwing a boulder through a damn McDonald's drive-through window.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They refused to serve him after hours.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that kind of ruined his career in a way.
Yeah, it's not good.
But yeah, he was a strong motherfucker too, man.
Yeah, even his figure, he's got a good size, built like a tank and stuff. But let's see, his market value, his carded figure here, brand new, is going anywhere from $200 to $300.
Nice.
And loose, he's going anywhere from $35 to $55. There was no accessories and no variations of his figure.
That sucks.
Yes.
So nothing special about his figure.
Nothing really, but I mean, it does look cool.
Yeah.
He's built like a tank, so it's
Cool.
all good. Okay, we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left on this list. And once we're done with the 5, we will jump on over and answer some questions.
All right. Well, who we got, brother?
Yes. Next up on this list, Series 4 wave here, is King Harley Race.
Oh, the King Harley Race.
Yes.
He's quite a legend.
Yeah, he's a legit tough guy, man.
Yeah, we saw his Dark Side of the Ring video about him. And
yeah, we did a full review on the Dark Side of the Ring episode with him in it. Much respect to him because he's a legit, hardcore, tough guy, man.
Even though WWF gave him that lame gimmick as being the King,
Right.
like, I think they should have just brought him in like the tough guy that he was and just let him do his thing.
I agree.
But he had a lot of classic matches, though. He had that one match with Hulk Hogan where he did that table spot that blew his gut out.
Yeah, that messed him up.
Yeah, that sucks too, man.
Yeah. But he's a legit tough guy, for sure. He grew up in the old school ways of wrestling where...
He's a badass motherfucker.
Right, badass for sure. But market value, carded, brand new, his figure goes for anywhere from $400 to $600, brand new. And loose, he's going for some good money, $110 to $160. That's not bad.
Yeah. Just think of the money, though. If you wanted to collect the whole series of these figures, look at the kind of money you'd have to spend to get them, like, new. Like, you're probably talking about, like, tens of thousands of dollars to get, this whole series.
Oh, yeah, if you were to buy them new now?
Yeah.
It would cost you thousands. Just wait till, like I said, till we get to Series 6 in a future podcast. We're talking thousands. We're talking you could literally buy a house. You could, well, I don't know. I think you could pretty much buy a house with Series 6.
Just let me know when you're going to get to that series because let me get my puke bucket ready.
Yeah, well, that will definitely be in a future episode podcast. It won't be in this one because that's
So I'll make sure, like I said, I'll make sure I have my puke bucket ready to hear some of these prices. Be like, oh, it's probably gonna make you sick.
But yeah, loose figure, 110 to 160. His accessories is he had the crown, and there was no variance of his figure.
I never had a figure of him either.
Never had him, huh?
No. I would like to because I would have used the crown for like put on other wrestlers, like see how they look with the crown on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. We got next on the list is Coco Beware.
Oh, the Birdman. Birdman.
Did you have his figure?
I think I did at one point.
Right on.
I know I had I know I had his Hasbro figure as well.
Yeah. I like
Coco Beware. He was quite a wrestler, man. Like he
was
wasn't
cool.
The biggest guy out there, but he could, he knew how to work.
Yeah, he has the red pants, the white shoes, the jacket, and his bird.
Frankie, oh yeah.
This is pretty cool, but let's see the market.
Come on, everybody, get up on your feet, put your hands together, cause the Birdman's in there.
Oh yeah. So let's see here. Market value for his brand new sealed carded. It says $350 to $450, which is not bad.
It's not bad price.
Loose, he is going anywhere from $50 to $75. As far as accessories go, he comes with the bird, and there
It's
are.
funny. It's funny. He comes with his bird, but the British Bulldogs didn't come with their dog.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
You know,
It should have.
That's kind of fucked up.
Right, but there were no known variations of his figure, so what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
Which is all good.
Yes,
Let's see here. Next on the list, we got 3 more left for Series 4. Outback Jack.
Come on, come out back, Jack.
Did you ever have his figure?
I did not.
Yeah.
I remember he was a cool wrestler. He had that whole, like, trying to do like a Crocodile Dundee type style wrestler.
Yeah, that's what he looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the yellow shoes, boots, or whatever.
Yeah, like the vest.
Yeah, the vest. And the pants.
Yeah. He was a good mid card wrestler. Like, he never made anything like big.
Right on. Now let's see here. Market value, brand new. He's going for anything. Let's see, anywhere from $250 to $350.
Damn.
Not bad. And loose, he's going for anywhere from $50 to $75.
Cool.
And accessories, he has his hat, and there are no known variations of his figure.
Cool.
Good stuff. But yeah, it's a cool looking figure. I dig that.
Yeah.
For sure. Heck yeah. So, moving on to the next one now.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look here. So next up is I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name, but it's Ted
RCD.
RCD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, RCD.
Yeah. He's a big. He looks like a pretty built dude.
I remember him. He was a powerhouse.
Was he? I don't.
Yeah. He wasn't around long. Like, I remember he was briefly in the WWF in like '86, and he was another one of those participants in that battle royal that they had with the Andre the Giant one.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking, how come they don't have a lot of these wrestlers in the newer wrestling games?
I don't know.
How cool would it be if they put in, like Outback Jack in a newer wrestling game?
Like Adrian Adonis or Ted Arcidi
or Ken Patera.
Yeah.
Or let's see.
You could have a game where you got you could pit the older, like the legends against the current wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have Outback Jack against fucking Roman Reigns or Ken Patera against fucking Cody Rhodes or.
Yeah, you name it. It would be cool to do something like that. But anyways, let's see. Ted's market value, new. He's going anywhere from $200 to $300, and loose, his figure's going anywhere from $30 to $45. There was no accessories and no variants of his figure.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually had his figure.
Oh, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, he looks built. Pretty good. He had a good build to him.
Pretty bad, dude. If you ever get a chance, look up some of his matches.
Yeah, I need to, because some of these wrestlers I either don't remember or vaguely remember.
It's funny. I remember every single one because, like I said, that was around the time when I really started watching wrestling, when all these wrestlers were wrestling.
Or I just kind of forgotten about. I totally forgotten about Outback Jack.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a way, it's kind of easy to forget about Outback Jack because, when you think of wrestlers, he'd be the last one that you would think of back in the '80s because. Because he kind of was kind of like a cool wrestler, but he didn't really like, I mean, he was like a good as like a mid carder, but he was one of those like fan favorite wrestlers, like that could beat like jobbers, beat lower tier talent, but when it came to like the bigger name talent, like he would, job out to.
Right. Yeah, because you're not going to see him beating like Andre the Giant or Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, one of the most notable matches I remember him having, and he got his ass whooped, was by Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh, okay. Kick ass. But
Put a hurting on him and put him in a figure 4 leg lock and got him to submit.
Right on. So we got one more left on the list of Series 4 here of WWF Superstars. And that is the man himself, Vince McMahon.
No chance. That is what you got. Bum, 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 bum.
He has like the blue pants and black shoes on. With
Welcome to WrestleMania.
Yeah. So let's see here. His figure market value, carded, brand new here, is going for $300 to $400, which is it's pretty good. Loose, his figure is going anywhere from $60 to $85. And as far as accessories go, there's none, and there were no known variants of that figure.
Oh, no specialties for the boss?
Nothing for the boss for this one. But yeah, that's cool. They had 17 brand new figures in total for Series 4, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them look cool, man, because I'm looking at them as, we talking about them. And yeah, this is pretty kick-ass. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch gears now, and we're going to answer some questions. And then when we're done with the questions, we'll wrap up this podcast. But then we will be back to go over Series 5 in the next podcast. Yeah. And then we may do Series 5 and 6 at the same time on the next podcast to wrap it up. But then there's also tag teams that we're going to go over. And then there's also accessories and playlists. So the next podcast we'll do, it's probably going to be longer, because we're going to go over Series 5, Series 6, and then, the tag teams, which I guess they put them out in 1986, and then the accessories and play sets as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's answer some questions here for a little bit, and then we'll wrap up this podcast.
All right, sounds good to me.
So yeah, that's all Series 4. Which is
Series 4. I think I probably only had maybe like just a few of those figures growing up.
Yeah. Right on.
I had all like the first few series of them, and didn't hardly have any of this series.
Right. Well, when we come back, we will be checking out, Series 5, and then you can let us know. I'm sure you had more in Series 5 than you did before.
See who is in Series 5.
Exactly. But all right, so here we go. Let's answer some questions from Daniel here.
All right.
All right, here we go. Let's see. There's quite a bit here, so let's see. Daniel asks, did Joe have WWF St. Valentine's Day Massacre on VHS 1999?
Oh yeah, the Austin McMahon cage match. Oh yeah, I had that.
He says it's a good show. He gives it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, there's also the debut of the Big Show.
Yeah, Paul White. Yeah, that's what he says here too. Yes, it's Paul White's TV debut.
Yeah. That was when Austin sent McMahon flying off the cage, and Vince went through a table and broke his tailbone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Did he really break his tailbone?
Yeah, really. That's why.
Damn.
That's why when you see him for a while after that, he was coming out in a fucking wheelchair for a bit.
Damn. Damn. Wrestling's no joke, man. It's hardcore, man.
No.
You're gonna get hurt at some point.
Just wanted to try to be like Mick Foley, I guess. Be like, oh, if Mick can go off a cage into a table, I can do the same thing.
If he could do it, I could do it too. Yes, you can. You get hurt.
Hey, it's like the song goes: if you don't succeed, dust yourself up and try.
Yeah. That's fucking funny.
Somebody should make a meme for that, for like Mick Foley, like showing his 2 spots where he got thrown off the cage. Like, have him show him the first time get thrown off through the table, and like, if you don't succeed, dust yourself up and try again, and have him choke slam through the cage.
That's funny as hell. Okay, let's see. Next question is Joe familiar with the Shawn Michaels versus Psycho Sid steel cage blue bar match won by Shawn Michaels, non-televised, in June of 1995?
Okay, that's a good one, because I did not know about that.
Yeah, non-televised. Yeah, I don't think I remember that one either. I'm going to look that up on YouTube.
Yeah. You want to know what's funny? A while back, I was looking on YouTube, and I thought I watched every match that Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant ever had. And I found a cage match that they had during their feud in the late 80s. They actually had a match in a cage. And I was like, and I was just thinking like, wow, I had never watched this match before.
Yeah. That's kick-ass.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was other like cage matches out there that I didn't know about. Like Sid against Shawn Michaels. I did not know they had a cage match.
Yeah, non-televised. Yeah, right on. Let's see. Next up here is, does Joe have a favorite match from WWF Raw 1998? He says, he says his is Ken Shamrock versus Triple H versus Owen Hart. Triple threat King of the Ring match won by Ken Shamrock.
Okay, that's cool. 'Cause I don't quite remember that match, but 98, yeah, there were a lot of good matches. And
WWF Raw.
Yeah.
Is there any?
Trying to think right now. I mean, I remember 98, a lot of cool shit was going down.
Oh, yeah, you ain't kidding. 1998, we were teenagers.
I probably can say one of the most memorable matches I've seen in '98 was they were saying that there was going to be Owen Hart against Triple H, and Owen Hart for the European title. And Owen Hart came to the ring, and you hear the DX music, and fucking Goldust comes out dressed as Triple H, like. And doing the DX crotch chop, and had the title, his attire, everything, and Owen Hart wound up beating him, and then they were talking shit, like Shawn Michaels and Triple H were talking shit afterwards, like, oh, you're so dumb, you really believe that? And Sergeant Slaughter came out, so since he wanted to come out here and act like Triple H, well, this was actually a sanctioned match, and for a European title, and Owen Hart's your new European champion.
Oh, kick ass!
That was a pretty cool matchup, and shit, a lot of cool fucking matches in '98.
Yeah, that's when the shit was going on. The same question pretty much is, does Joe have a favorite WWF Raw match from 1997?
A Raw match from '97. Okay.
Yeah, he says his is Bret Hart fight versus Psycho Sid blue bar steel cage match for Sid's WWF title, March of 1997.
Oh yeah, when Sid won and Brett did that whole like frustrated isn't a damn word for it.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, he went off, man. He pushed Vince McMahon down.
I would have to agree that was a great fucking matchup.
And that where Stone Cold came up and says, "Quit your bitching, Brett."
Yeah, he's like, all you do is cry, Brett. You're a quitter. I tried to help you win the title so it could be me and you at WrestleMania, but you couldn't go because you're a loser.
Damn.
Dude, Stone Cold and Bret Hart in '97 was one of the best feuds. Like that, and that really made Stone Cold a fucking badass. Like, the fact that it was like he wanted to fight Bret so bad and so many times, and they had some classics, man. Their Survivor Series '96 match, their WrestleMania submission match.
Right.
And
some old school awesomeness.
And then they even had an incident on Raw where Austin got to Bret and was like, trying to break Bret's ankle.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Stone Cold.
All right, let's see. It's got a lot of questions here. I'm trying to go over and find a good one here. Let's see. Some are about movies, but I'm trying to just find the wrestling related questions here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Did Joe own the Tombstone History of Undertaker DVD back in the day?
Yep.
A 20-year. It says a 3-disc set.
Yeah.
You own that one?
Yeah. That was part of that box deal that I told you about. That I bought before. I had a whole box of them, and
Oh, kick ass.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing like the old school wrestling DVDs, man. I love it, especially those 3-disc sets.
In the old school wrestling, it was just a different time period anyway in wrestling.
Right. Oh yeah. Let's see. Next question is: does Joe recall the Tugboat versus Undertaker December 1990 match, or the Shawn Michaels first half of the Rockers versus Demolition Crush from January of '91?
I don't recall either of those, honestly.
Okay.
I have to look that up because I'd like to see the Undertaker. That'd be actually a badass match.
What?
Undertaker against Tugboat.
Yeah, Tugboat 1990. It says December 12th.
I don't see Undertaker tombstoning Tugboat. I don't know though. I mean, he fucking tombstone Vader.
Yeah. Oh, you never know.
You know how fucking hard that would be to fucking tombstone Vader.
Hey, yeah, it'd be pretty hard because he's a big dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that move on him because I'd be scared that he'd slip out of my hands and break his damn neck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Undertaker did it, and he made it look fucking easy.
Yeah, well, he's a tough dude.
Yeah.
He's a big sized guy. I'm sure he's, pretty tough. So, but I personally, no, I don't think I'd be comfortable trying that because I'd be like, well, fuck, this is gonna turn into shit. I'm gonna botch this.
I'm gonna put him upside down. I'm gonna fucking either fall with him or I'm gonna drop him right on his fucking head.
Yeah, break his neck, and I don't want no part of it, or he'll slip out of my hands or something.
Or you wind up dropping down with him like fucking Owen Hart did with fucking Stone Cold.
Right, he gets a damn neck broken. That's not cool, dude.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm out. All right, let's see here. Next question is: did Joe own the WWF magazine, April of 1997, the WrestleMania 13 cover promo which has Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, and Undertaker?
I might have.
I know you had a lot of the magazines back in the day.
Yeah, I always did buy a lot of them, because that was my thing. I liked, I wish I still had all those damn magazines.
Oh yeah, I hear you, dude. Because I got a few from, Wrestling Rampage sent me a couple, which I've been showing off once a year.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping those because those are old school. They sent me some old school wrestling magazines.
Yeah.
So
old school's the way to go, bro.
Oh yeah, old school rules every time. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next question is: did Joe own WWF Super Tape Volume 2, 1990, hosted by Sean Mooney?
I never owned that tape, but I remember renting it from the video store.
Okay. Which video store do you remember?
It was that one video store that me and you worked at for a bit.
Oh, I forgot the name of that fucking place.
Yeah, I forgot about the name of it too.
Yeah, that was somewhere, like 97, 98?
Yeah, but that video store was around for years, because I remember in the early 90s, me and my mom and my brother, we would go to that video store probably once a week and rent a couple movies.
Right.
My brother, she would let my brother pick out one, I'd pick out a movie, and of course I'd always pick out the fucking wrestling events and tapes. And
right.
It was funny because I'd pick out a wrestling tape, my brother would pick out a horror movie, and my mom would get some movie like drama or whatever, fucking movie whatever, and that was always our deal when we rented movies.
Oh, that's cool.
I never really hardly would ever. I mean, once in a while I would rent movies, actually get a movie. I would get Three Ninjas or something like that.
But you would rent a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I remember one time I rented a tape and actually brought it into school, and we watched it at in one of our classes.
Oh, hell yeah. I remember you bringing in tapes for us to watch wrestling.
Yeah, I remember how I used to record the Monday Night Raw and Monday Nitro, and I'd bring that tape into class the next day, and we would actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah, the teacher would let us watch it, which is cool.
Yeah.
And everybody got into that shit too, man. That was cool, dude.
Remember that I had brought in the video the time where Stone Cold was trying to get into Brian Pillman's house, and he's beating up his friends outside.
Yeah, that was a shocking moment in wrestling history for me. I was legit shocked. You know? I think, didn't Vince McMahon get in trouble for that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I know it was crazy shit because they had Brian Pillman with a gun, and then Stone Cold comes in and you see Brian putting a gun and the screen just goes fuzzy. What the hell happened? What the hell happened?
From what I remember, I think Vince McMahon, other companies or whatever, told them to tone it down with the fucking craziness, or we're not going to run our ads on your fucking shit.
I mean, that kind of shit, that's not wrestling, dude. Having a guy go to the house and having a guy with a gun out.
Right. I mean, you definitely don't see shit like that today.
No.
That's pretty fucking wild, man.
I mean, you saw some crazy shit in wrestling, man. You saw people getting thrown off of bridges and shit, and you saw fucking. What about the one time when Vince got in his car and his car blew up?
Yeah, where did that go? I don't think that went anywhere.
Well, if you remember, they were Vince was originally going to just be killed off. So he wouldn't appear for a while, and then they had to shut that whole deal down when they had the Chris Benoit deal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They just totally killed that deal, and Vince came back, and
Right. Okay, let's see here. Next question is, are you aware of the January 17th, 1994 WWF at Madison Square Garden non-televised show, I guess, where Owen Hart won a Royal Rumble?
Oh, I did not know that.
Me neither. Non-televised.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Owen Hart. That was 94. That was the year he totally reinvented his career.
Yeah, he is a hell of a good wrestler, by the way.
When he turned on his brother and started becoming the heel, and like he really got to fucking finally showcase his true talent.
Yeah,
Everybody
true.
was always casting him in the shadow of Brett, and he's like, I'm not Brett's shadow, and that's why he turned. He wanted to fight Brett at WrestleMania because he's like, I'm just your shadow. I've been living in the shadow of you, Brett, all my life. I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah. Really good wrestler, man.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks that he went out the way he did. Like,
Yeah, a long time ago.
yeah, like, I wonder, like, if he wouldn't have went out like he did, like, I wonder where his career. You think a lot of wrestlers, if they wouldn't have passed away, like, where would their careers would have gone? Like I think about like Eddie Guerrero. Like, if he wouldn't have passed away, if he was
Right.
still alive today, like.
I don't think he'd be wrestling today, but
Well, I mean, he might not be, but with Dominic,
right.
Mysterio in wrestling, they could have easily, like brought him in, because remember how like they're still trying to have him in that gimmick that he's still like how back in the day when Eddie announced like I'm your papi,
Right.
and they're still like making a thing like he's still believing that Eddie Guerrero is his dad and Rey Mysterio ain't, which is all bullshit. Rey Mysterio is legit his dad.
Correct. Right.
And if he was alive, it would have been cool because they could have brought Eddie in, and like Eddie could have been like a manager for like Dominic or something.
That's true. I mean, who knows what would have happened if, you're right, like you said, if some of these wrestlers would have went on living,
Yeah,
Would have been interesting.
like Chris Benoit. Imagine if that whole shit wouldn't have went down.
Yeah.
And
I could have seen him kept going for at least 5 more years.
yeah,
I think he was like 40 at the time, wasn't he, when he passed?
he could have kept going, and eventually, like he could have been, he could have trained his son David
Right.
to take the reins of being like the new, Benoit. But that would have been fucking cool,
True. I hear you on that. Let's see. Next question is, Hulk Hogan was on the cover of WWF magazine July 1987. Hogan was on the cover. Did Joe have this magazine?
I might have.
That's really old school there.
Yeah. 87, I mean, I might have. I mean, I had a lot of the magazines. I mean, I remember actually getting a subscription to WWF magazine. Like,
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like $25 for like 6 months of WWF magazines. I think I ran like 2 subscriptions of it, and my mom wouldn't renew my subscriptions. And I was
What was this, like the early 90s?
yeah, it's like actually this was like
Late 80s?
late 80s.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man, that you were able to,
Yeah,
Too bad you don't still have those magazines.
I know, it sucks, man.
It's like a lot of that old school stuff. Yeah, I feel the same way about like Game Pro magazines that I used to get in the mail, or Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
I just throw them away after a while, and I'm thinking, damn, I should have kept those.
Yeah. One thing I did, fucking, not knowing, how valuable those magazines could be, I used to always do things where I'd create my own, how people create, like, scrapbooks.
like I would cut out certain pictures out of magazines and like put them all in like this like book and make like a like some of the coolest wrestling shots. Like each page would be like like this page would be Hulk Hogan's cool pictures and Bret Hart, Razor Ramon. So yeah, I fucked up a lot of magazines.
Yeah. Do you have any magazines today though?
I think I may have a magazine or two still laying around, but as far as like just nothing like I had.
Okay. Let's see. Next question is, did Joe own the WWF Super Tape 1990 VHS that featured Hulk Hogan and Zeus and Macho Man? The Zeus match.
Huh, that's cool. I don't think so.
You don't think he had that VHS tape? I had to look at the cover. That sounds like that would be an interesting watch.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm all for the old school stuff anytime, that's for damn sure.
Oh man, that's the old school shit.
That's for sure. Let's see. We'll probably answer maybe one or two more questions and then we'll wrap this one up.
No, we're done. Time cut it. We're done for the night.
Yeah. We'll do one or two more. Let's see. I'm just trying to find, because some of them are about movies, but I'm only going over the wrestling related questions.
Okay.
Since this is about
this is about wrestling.
It's about wrestling. Damn, there's quite a bit here. I got a big ass list.
It's fucking crazy.
It is pretty wild. Let's see. Did Joe own the WWF magazine October 1990 with Hulk and Animal on the cover?
Yeah, I believe so. I think I had that one.
Right on. And he's also...
I know I had a magazine at some point with the LOD on the cover.
Right on. And it also says, also on the WWF Wrestling Challenge September 1990, he says in a pre-recorded interview, Hulk and Animal each are holding a copy of the WWF magazine October 1990 while sending a message to Demolition. That's cool. Interesting. I have to hand it to Daniel, man. He really knows his stuff. He's got like knowledge on like just so much when it comes to wrestling. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so do I.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. It's just a lot of the stuff I had no idea about, like the non-televised stuff.
Some matches he's asking me like non-televised and matches like that. I don't really know about the non-televised stuff. Like,
right.
Like being a fan of wrestling, like I know all the shows like Raw, SmackDown, WWF Superstars, Wrestling Challenge.
Right on. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of wrestling matches get recorded that never got put out there. That's why they had those unreleased DVDs for a little while.
Yeah.
Which are pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. So. Sometimes they pop up on like YouTube, like matches. Like somebody would have like a camera like filming the match at like a show, and I actually wound up like it was kind of cool because you got to see like basically Tatanka's like first match in the WWF.
Right on. Well, wasn't he? What was he called before Tatanka?
He was War Eagle Chris Chavis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did see that match where it was like, what was that, a tryout thing?
Yeah, but it was cool because he didn't come in as like a jobber, like getting his ass whooped. Like
right.
He actually wound up having like a good like 20-minute match with Ted DiBiase, and then DiBiase caught him with like a power slam, and then hooked him up in his $1 million dream and fucking put his ass to sleep.
Yeah, 99. Okay.
He even gave him the jobber treatment afterwards, where the referee's like trying to get him to wake him up, and fucking Ted DiBiase just goes over there to him, turns his face sideways, and just stomps the side of his face with his boot.
Damn.
I was like, yeah, it's funny because when you see that, okay, Tatanka was basically, wasn't. I mean, he was known because he worked for other companies prior to that, but it's like this was his first deal in WWF, and probably not a lot of the WWF fans really knew him at that point. But when he got repackaged and came out as Tatanka, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, kick ass. So, okay, we'll do one more question here, and then we're going to ramp this podcast up.
All right.
Okay, last question for the day is, what did Joe think of WWE's King of the Ring 2002? He says it's a 7 out of 10. Kurt Angle at the event forced Hulk Hogan to submit in their one-on-one match.
Yeah.
What'd you think of King of the Ring 2002?
I was shocked that Hulk Hogan did the job for Kurt Angle like that.
Yeah, because that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not tapping out there, brother, unless you slide me about $5 million. I'll do the job for you, brother.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was a pretty cool event.
Yeah. Right on. Good event. I mean, I love the old school stuff, man, and that's a fact. You know, anything from the late 80s into the 90s and early 2000s, I thought was really good.
I'm trying to remember who won the 2002 King of the Ring.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't remember. But he says Hulk Hogan, or Kurt Angle beat Hulk Hogan.
No, I mean, Kurt Angle and Hulk Hogan wrestled in a match, but I'm trying to remember. They had always had a King of the Ring tournament. I'm trying to remember. I think in 2001, Edge won it. And then they had it in 2002. I'm trying to think. Can't remember though. Fuck it.
It's all right. We'll circle back to it. But yeah. This was part 2, guys. Part 2 of checking out the
We're coming with part 3.
Oh yeah, we got a part 3 coming. Part 3 is probably going to be pretty big with these LJN wrestling figures, because we went over Series 4. We are now, next time we'll start off with Series 5, and then we'll go into probably Series 6, and then like I said, we'll
Series 6, we're going to have to get the puke buckets ready.
Yeah.
Some of these places are going to
the price, wait till you hear the Series 6 prices, man. It is like, whoa, shit. It's out there. And then we'll also get into the tag teams figures that they put out in 86, along with the accessories and play sets. But anyways, we'll go ahead and wrap this podcast up for you guys. Stay tuned for part 3 coming in the near future of the LJN wrestling figures.
And we'll get you, Series 5, Series 6, and...
Yep. And then the accessories and stuff. And then after that, we will be diving into the Hasbro figures as well.
Hasbros!
Yes. That will take up a couple podcasts as well. But yeah, we'll be getting into all those figures. And we got our year filled out for a podcast. Because I wanted to go dive deep into wrestling figures, which we haven't done before. And I want to go over all of them, so that we can cover, from top to bottom, every one of these bad boys. And, and plus, it's a trip down memory lane, and you used to have a lot of them, so you got a lot of knowledge on this stuff. So
damn right I did.
It's all good in the hood. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. We got, more to come. We're going to be pumping these motherfuckers out a lot this year.
Oh, Oh yeah.
Usually I used to do just a few podcasts a year, but in 2024 we pumped up the volume, we doubled up.
We're leveling up.
Yeah, it's called leveling up, and then in this year, 2025, we're gonna fucking triple up, and we're gonna pump out at least, I would say, 12 podcasts this year, and most of these are gonna be talked about the wrestling figures, I would say, because there's so much to cover.
There's still a lot of figures to cover.
We haven't even gone through half of the fucking figures yet.
You got Hasbro's, you got Jakks, you got WCW figures, ECW figures.
Right? Yeah, we're gonna get into all of it. I mean, we're like I said, we're gonna cover it from head to toe. We're gonna get into all that awesomeness. So stay tuned, guys, because we're rocking this bitch big time.
We're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out.
We rocking. So, anyways, that's enough of us blabbering around. Bullshitting around. But yeah, stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Get ready, man, because we're diving into some more here in the near future.
Oh, yeah.
That is it for now. We're out of here, and see ya. Peace.